Hey guys, so I really wanted to come on here and talk about something. It is personal. It is about my birth mom, my real mom, my mom. Um, so my mom died when I was 13. She overdosed on drugs. She was addicted to a drug called opiates. And at the time of her dying, I'm literally just gonna jump right into this. So my phone is dying. That's why. Also, there's a lot to say. Um, at the time that my uncle called and told, I don't even know if I even knew my uncle at the time, but when he called, he told us that she had passed away. She overdosed. I was like, okay, well, that was her fault. It was her fault, and, you know, whatever. And you're probably like, how can you be so heartless? I was. I was heartless, and I was bitter because she, she, she wasn't a part of my life, really. And from what I remember, she would make promises she wouldn't keep. She barely called, so I don't even remember her, voice. But I also remember when we were younger, we had good times, but we also had a lot of bad times. I remember her going to, a van and to buy drugs, and me and my brother would be with her. I remember her falling asleep with a cigarette in her hand, and I would try and wake her up, and she would yell at me because she'd be mad at me for waking her up. I remember her trying to get my dad arrested for something that wasn't even true. And there's so many memories. So she was dating a long time ago, obviously. I've lived in Florida for almost all my life. But when we lived in New Orleans, we lived in this house. It was me, my dad, and my brother. And there was a ditch in our backyard. And across the ditch, there was a house where she lived with her boyfriend, Jimmy. He had a son. And his son touched me inappropriately. Let's just put it that way. So I was taken to the hospital. Nothing was wrong. Luckily, because, yeah. So, but she stayed with him and stuff like that. So they ended up, I guess, breaking up. And I remember her getting with another guy named David. I think, or Dave. And I remember she used to lock us out of the bedroom because my brother really didn't mind, but I did because I was highly attached as a kid to both my mom and my dad. And so I'd cry at her door, and she would come out, and they would yell at me to go to sleep on the couch with my brother, because there was a bed. And before she got together with Dave, all three of us would sleep on the couch in the bed. And yeah, I remember that. I so I remember good memories as well, of course. We would go to the corner store, and we would walk to the corner store, and she would always buy me and my brother the little ice creams that you push up ice cream. And they were the Flintstone. They had orange sherbet in them. I remember this little metal heart she got for us that was wrapped in lace or something. I remember we used to say a prayer every night before bed. I don't know. One time though, she kidnapped me and my brother. She took us to my aunt's house in the country. She didn't let us talk to my dad. My dad wasn't supposed to like leave us with her alone because she was like allowed to have like visitations with people around, I guess. And I'm saying a lot because it's a lot of thinking and I forget a lot. So he let us go there for the summer to spend time with her, and she took us to my aunt's in the country in Louisiana, and she wouldn't let us talk to him, and eventually she found a place to live. It was an apartment, and she lived upstairs. And she had to go do something one day, and my Aunt Lori, who, rest in peace, is also passed away, I believe from, I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say. So it was raining outside, and me and my brother were outside playing in the rain, and I remember seeing a cop pulling up, and my Aunt Lori, I'm going to cry, so warning, tears will come. I remember my Aunt Lori coming outside telling us to come inside, to run up the stairs. And I remember, hang on, okay. I remember running as fast as I could up the stairs. And I would say like I just wasn't fast enough. And I hate to say this, but like, if anyone ever sees this in my family, I really hope they don't take it the wrong way. But the cops had pulled up, and they come up, and it was too late, because, like, I was just in the front door, and the cop had called us all out, and they were asking, you know, like, where's my mom, and all this other stuff, so my aunt was talking to them, and I was, like, bawling my eyes out, and the cop had asked my dad why I was crying so hard, and he told the cop that it was because I was afraid of cops, because he was in and out of jail, because he was a bouncer. But I wasn't crying because I was afraid of the cop. I was crying because I knew that it was going to be the last time that I seen my mom. It wasn't, I don't think, but that's sadly the last memory I have of her. And, yeah. So, the reason why it affects me more that she's gone, let's just say this. After that incident, I don't remember what had happened, but I remember being in the RV with my dad, and my dad was like telling me something about like how she lies and says things that she doesn't like follow through with, and I need to let her know how I feel. And I remember she called, and I told her that she chose drugs over us, and that she didn't love us, that she wasn't a real mom, because if she were, she would stop doing drugs and stop lying and stuff. So, and I was really, really mean to her in that moment. And I remember, like, cutting up pictures of her. And then I don't know. And I regret that because I don't have that many pictures of her now. And I think the reason why I'm more hurt now than I was then was because now that life is going and I'm grown and I graduated and all this stuff, she's not here to see that. And my dad's had plenty of women, I guess you could say. He had Lisa, who tried to kidnap me. He had Wanda, who, was also, like, a big part of, like, my family or whatever. I called her mom. Then we had CJ, who, her real name was, like, Melody, and she was there for 16 years. 16 years. She was the reason why my dad found us, actually. When my mom had kidnapped us, she's never seen us before, but she's seen a picture of us. And she was in the cop car with my dad and my grandma in the cop. And CJ was the one who said, "Isn't that your kids right there?" And she just left, too. CJ was my mom. She was more my mom than my mom was. And the moment I left and I moved out, she left and she doesn't even talk to me anymore. And then my dad's got a new girlfriend, and she always says from dad and mom, or says like that I'm her daughter, and it's like that makes me mad and hurt, because I always say like maybe I don't deserve a mom figure. But the closest thing I have to a mom figure now would be like my guy's mom. And she's the best mom figure I've ever had in my life. And she's not even like dating my dad or gave birth to me. And she doesn't have to take care of me, but she does. I don't know. I'm a mess. I didn't mean to cry this much, but like, it's a sensitive topic. But anyway, all I want to say is don't do drugs, because they kill you. And also, don't act out on impulse decisions, like cutting pictures or anything. And always tell people that you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time you talk. So yeah. Also, for people who know me, wonder why videos or pictures mean so much to me, is because sometimes that's the only thing you've got. It's the only thing you've got. And that's all I've got. So, yeah. I guess this is it. So, if you've lost someone that you love, I'm so sorry for that situation. And I know how you feel. But I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video, which hopefully will be more happiness and positivity. Bye.